Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a quick review for your test. Your test will be if you're Monday, Wednesday. Your test will be Wednesday. If you're Tuesday, Thursday, your test will be Thursday. So you should have your last lecture video posted, and also you should have this review for today. And then you'll take your test, and then we will begin the next part. So you guys will be in my class on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on where you are. Okay, so here we go. So things you will need to know for your test. Know what elements make up most of the body. What elements make up most of the body? There's a table in your reading. The smallest unit of an element that retains its distinctive behaviors. What would that be? What part of an element, the smallest part of an element that retains its distinctive behaviors? Characteristics that give elements distinctive properties. What gives them their distinctive properties? The number of what? Protons, neutrons, electrons. What makes them what they are? Know if I give you the atomic number of a element, and I give you the mass number, that you can tell me whether it would have more protons, more electrons, more neutrons, fewer neutrons, that kind of thing. Know know how to figure that out. And that would be basically you take the mass number and you subtract the atomic number, and it'll tell you how many neutrons would be there. If not, know how many electron shells are found in nitrogen. Know how many electron shells are found in nitrogen. What is the difference between a molecule and a compound? So like two hydrogen atoms, that's a molecule. But a compound would be like water is a compound, or a hydrogen ion potentially could be a compound. So if something is a know what the difference between a molecule and a compound are. Know what kind of bond makes ammonia. So is it a covalent bond? Is it a nonpolar or polar covalent bond? Is it a hydrogen bond? Is it an ionic bond? What kind of bond holds ammonia together? Know what it's called when an atom donates an electron to another. So if it loses an electron, what happens to that element? What does it become? Or what is that atom? What does it become? Is it positively charged? Is it negatively charged? Is it neutral? Is it an ion, an anion? Is it polar, nonpolar? That kind of thing. Substances form crystals. How? When they work together, a substance formed of crystals with an equal number of cations and anions are held together to make what kind of bond? Or what is it when it's bonded together? What does it make? So that would become like a metal and a non-metal being formed together, maybe, or crystals that form together to make what? Do they make a gas? Do they make an electrolyte? Do they make a salt? Do they make a dipole? What do they make? So know which kind of bonds are strong and which kinds of bonds are weak. Is a covalent bond stronger than a hydrogen bond? Is an ionic bond stronger than a covalent bond? Is a covalent bond stronger than an ionic bond? So know which bond is the strongest and which is the weakest. Know what stored energy is called. Know what happens when minerals come together to make bone. What is that called? Is it a catabolic reaction? Is it a synthesis reaction? Is it decompensation, or is it just an exchange? Know what kind of, when elements bond together to make bone, what would that be? Know that if I give you chemical AB and it yields A plus B, what is that called? Is that an anabolic reaction? Is that decompensation? Is that exchange? Is that an endogenic reaction? Know what kind of reaction it is. Know what kind of reactions release energy. And know what kind of, know what combinations of atoms were created, what kind of actions are created by a chemical reaction. Would it be a hydrogen and a hydrogen, a hydrogen and a helium, helium and a helium, neon and helium? Which one of those would be caused by a chemical reaction? What would cause them to bond together? And know why food starts to chemically break down in the mouth. What's happening? Know what kind of compound methane is. Know what kind of what would you find inside a homogeneous solution, evenly distributed in a homogeneous solution? What kind would you find? Sodium ions, chloride ions? Would you find salt crystals? Would you find calcium molecules? What would you find? Know the difference between solvents, solutes, solutions, and suspensions. Know the difference between solvents, solutes, solutions, and suspensions. Know what happens, like I said, when you add a metal to a nonmetal. What does that form? Know whether something is acidic or alkaline. Like if something's really low on the pH scale, it would 0 to 7 would be, or 0 to 6 would be acidic, and anything above 7 is an alkaline. So know that. Know what the chemical formula for a hexose monosaccharide, hexose monosaccharide is. Know what the chemical formula for a hexo monosaccharide is. Know what we need to keep the brain cells fueled. Know what part of proteins are considered the building block. Y'all been having that question since you were about in 5th grade probably. Know what a pentose sugar is part of the monomer of. Know what a pentose, which would be 5 sugar, pentagram, 5, 5 sugar chain, what would that be? Know what kind of regions that a phospholipid has. Would they be a triglyceride and a phosphate? Would they have polar and non-polar regions? Would they have cation and anions? Know what a phospholipid, what kind of properties does it have? Know the characteristics, the shape characteristic of DNA, you know that. Know what are the characteristics of uracil. Know why enzymes are compatible with only certain substrates. Is it selectivity? Is it subjectively? Is it speciality, or is it specificity? Know why enzymes are activated when a substrate or a substance meets them. The most abundant elements in food. Why do we need to consume the most abundant elements in food? So know if magnesium is stable or reactive and why, and know where, if it were to react with another atom, where would that most likely, where would it accept or donate? And tell me whether it would accept or donate electrons. Tell me why, if you eat tuna or something oily on a plate and you just rinse it, it doesn't look clean. Know why lemon juice, if it's a 2 on the acidic scale and orange juice is 4, know which one is more acidic and why, and by how much, and what does it mean? So know how many carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Basically, you want to know what the disaccharide maltose, you want to know the chemical formula, and when it goes through reaction, what does it yield? Okay, guys, that's pretty much a review of your entire test. As you could tell, I was looking at my screen the whole time, so I was definitely reviewing from your test. You guys have your test. Like I said, you'll either have it on Wednesday or Thursday. You'll come in my room on Wednesday or Thursday. You'll be in the library on Monday or Tuesday. If you have questions, let me know, and we will start the sale next week. Or actually, we'll start the sale after you finish your test. I'll give you your reading assignment. You guys have a great day. That means that we will have a quiz over the vocab Monday.